specifically in unit circle. Now, what is trigonometry? Trigonometry is a branch of mathematics that studies angles and sides of triangles. The trigonometry comes from the Greek word trigon. Trigonon means triangle, and metron means measure. Now, we have 3 learning objectives of this topic. First, use correct mathematical notation and terminology. Using correct mathematical notation and terminology in trigonometry is essential for clear communication, accurate presentation, and logical reasoning, and avoiding errors. Here are the Greek symbols. First is theta, and second is r. This is commonly denoted as angles. Angles. Degrees. A unit of angle measure where a full circle is 360 degrees. Radians. A unit of angle measure where a full circle is 2 pi radians. And also 180 degrees is pi radians. Now, the second learning objective is perfectly define and draw a unit circle and identify the coordinates of trigonometric points of special angles.
First, draw a circle that has a coordinate plane to make a 4-quadrant, which is the quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and the last quadrant is the quadrant 4. And remember always that the unit circle has the radius of 1 at the center of the origin. Write the cosine and sine coordinate, and there is the 1 and negative 0. Zero and 1. 0 and negative 1. The last one is the negative 1 and 0. After writing the cosine and sine coordinate, proceed in quadrant 1 and define the special angles in degrees and radians. The first special angles is 30 degrees and 45 degrees and 60 degrees. And the equivalent of these degrees in radians is pi over 6 radians, pi over 4 radians, pi over 3 radians. And the 90 degrees is the pi over 2 radians. Next is the quadrant 2. I will also defining the corresponding degrees and radians of this angle. First is 120 degrees, 135 degrees, and 150 degrees. And in radians, first is 2 pi over 3 radians, 3 pi over 4 radians, and 5 pi over 6 radians. And the 180 degrees is the pi radian. Now, we are at the quadrant 3, 210 degrees, 225 degrees, 240 degrees. 7 pi over 6 radians, 5 pi over 4 radians, 4 pi 3 radians. And the 210 degrees is 3 pi over 2 radians. We are at the last quadrant. First, 300 degrees, 315 degrees, and 330 degrees. First is 5 pi over 3 radians, 7 pi over 4 radians, 11 pi over 6 radians. The origin 0 degrees and 90 degrees. Y axis represents sine coordinate. and the x-axis represents the cosine coordinates. Now, let's get the cosine and sine coordinates of the unit circle by using this formula, SOHCAHTOA. Here are the examples. The adjacent are root 3 and the hypotenuse is 2 and the opposite is 1. First, we need to find and identify the x coordinates or the cosine coordinates. So, first put the adjacent or the root 3 over the hypotenuse is 2 and the sine coordinates are opposite, which is 1, and the hypotenuse is 2, and that is the cosine and sine coordinates of the 30 degrees. In the 45 degrees, the cosine and sine coordinates are root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2. The 60 degrees, 1 over 2 and root 3 over 2. And the 120 degrees are negative 1 over 2 and root 3 over 2. The 135 degrees are negative root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2. In 150 degrees, negative root 3 over 2 and 1 over 2. In 210 degrees, we have negative root 3 over 2 and negative 1 over 2. In 25 degrees, we have negative root 2 over 2 and negative root 2 over 2. In 240 degrees, we have 1 over 2 and negative root 3 over 2. We are at the last quadrant. The 300 degrees are 1 over 2 and negative root 3 over 2. In 315 degrees, root 2 over 2 and negative root 2 over 2. And the 330 degrees, root 3 over 2 and negative 1 over 2. That's the sine and cosine coordinates of a unit circle. And the last learning objectives is correctly identify the 6 trigonometric and circular functions and their value limits based on this unit circle. The first function is the sine of angle is the y-coordinate of the point on the unit circle. The second one is the cosine of angle is the x-coordinate of the point on the unit circle. And the third one is tangent of angle is the ratio of the sine to the cosine, or tan angle equals to sine angle over cosine angle equals y over x. Fourth one is cosecant of angle is the reciprocal of the sine, or cosecant equals 1 over sine equals 1 over y. And the fifth one is the secant of angle is the reciprocal of the cosine, or secant equals 1 over cosine equals 1 over x. And the last one is the cotangent of angle is the reciprocal of the tangent, or cotangent equals 1 over tangent equals x over y. Remember that the unit circle gives us a visual way to understand these functions. The x and y coordinates directly relate to the cosine and sine, and the other functions are simply reciprocals. That's a quick overview of the 6 trigonometric functions.